So what's the big deal with wearing a red shirt to Disneyland? Happy Pride Month, everybody! I'm Chris with a K, and welcome back to This Week in Queer History, where we find hope-filled, inspirational, and strategic moments from queer history that we can use today. This week marks the 35th anniversary of something beautiful, defiant, and wonderfully simple: the first gay days at Walt Disney World. In June 1991, 3,000 LGBTQ+ people showed up wearing red shirts. No sponsors, no permission, no corporate approval, just community. And what started as a grassroots act of visibility became one of the largest LGBTQ celebrations in the world. But it's 2026, and the official event is paused. Hello, everyone. This is Chris with a K, and I just wanted to pop on before the episode and give you a little heads up, because at the time of recording this video, Gay Days was canceled, and now it is back on. They reversed the decision, and Gay Days will be going on again this year. But I did think that this was really important because the same topics, the subjects and the topics that I talk about are very important. So happy that it's back on. And hopefully it stays back on, but until it does, here's the video. Please enjoy, and hope you're all doing well.
This week in queer history, stories told with love and glee.
So let's set the scene. It's June 1991. The AIDS crisis is devastating our community. Same-sex relationships have zero legal recognition. Don't ask, don't tell. It won't even exist for another 2 years. And sodomy laws are still on the books in most states. And coming out, that could cost you your job, your family, everything. But into this reality walked 3,000 queer people from Central Florida, all coordinated through word of mouth and community networks. No social media, no apps, just trust. They picked a date, they picked a color, red, bright and impossible to miss, and they showed up at Walt Disney World. The message wasn't complicated. It was just simply, we're here, we see each other, and we exist. And nobody asked Disney's permission. The company, they carefully stayed neutral. Cast members were told to treat it like any other summer Saturday, but that neutrality, in 1991, that was enough. Not being kicked out felt like a victory. And here's why Disney mattered so much. Theme parks represent mainstream American family entertainment. It's the most wholesome space imaginable. And by gathering there, queer people were making a statement. We are families too. We deserve joy too. We belong here too. And for many attendees, it went deeper than politics. Growing up closeted in the 1960s, 70s, and the 80s meant that you had to hide through much of your entire youth. Many LGBTQ adults missed the carefree moments of childhood, the proms, the hand-holding, the simple joy of being yourself in a public space. And as Time magazine noted, Gay Days became a way to reclaim normal joys of childhood lost to homophobia. Disney World wasn't just a theme park, it was the embodiment of childhood wonder. And for queer adults who never got to experience that wonder as their authentic selves, Gay Days offered something profound. It was a second chance. By 1995, attendance had tripled to 10,000, and by 2010, Gay Days had exploded into a 6-day celebration, drawing about 150,000 LGBTQ people, their families, friends, and supporters. Pool parties at host hotels, business expos and health fairs, family events for LGBTQ parents and their kids, drag shows and pageants. And on the final Saturday, 20 to 30,000 people flooding into the Magic Kingdom, all in red. That growth mirrored shifts in LGBTQ life. More people coming out, more same-sex families with children, and even marriage equality in 2015. Disney World was already a top honeymoon destination, and queer couples, they wanted that magic too. But the bigger the Gay Days got, the louder the backlash became. The Southern Baptist Convention boycotted Disney for 8 years, from 96 to 2005. Over its perceived support of LGBTQ people. In 2013, the Florida Family Association flew a banner plane over Central Florida, and it said, "Warning, Gay Day at Disney, 6/1." Janet Porter of Faith to Action told families to expect cross-dressing men parading public displays of perversion. The perversion she was talking about? people holding hands, people wearing matching shirts, people riding Space Mountain together. The scandal was simply that we existed together in public. And then there were the accidental visitors, straight families who claimed they were shocked to encounter gay days. But what did they actually witness? People in red shirts, couples holding hands. That's it. The double standard is exhausting. Straight couples kiss in front of Cinderella's castle and it's romantic, but same-sex couples do it and suddenly it's inappropriate for children. For 35 years, gay days proved that queer people could create joy without corporate permission. We didn't need official endorsement, we just needed each other. But then came this year, 2026. Organizers announced the event would be paused. Their statement cited changes to host hotel agreements, loss of key sponsorship support, and broader challenges currently impacting LGBTQ events nationwide. And they're not wrong about these challenges. Corporate sponsors who proudly waved rainbow flags during the 2010s have been retreating. The backlash to Bud Light's partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, the protests against Target's Pride merchandise, companies watched and got scared. Meanwhile, Gay Days wasn't the only casualty. Tampa Pride paused. Arlington, Texas Pride paused. Tucson Pride paused. As one YouTuber put it, corporations who used to sponsor events like this have been pulling back. They don't want to feel prey under this administration that has said that DEI is a no-go. And here's where we need to get real about corporate allyship. Companies supported Pride when it was profitable, when rainbow logos boosted sales, when being inclusive was good marketing. But the minute it became risky, they disappeared. And that's not allyship. That is inhumane business. So the question becomes, and this question, I want you to sit with it and think about it for a moment. Is it the companies that make up Gay Days, or is it the people? And the beautiful thing about history that I am finding is that it echoes the answer. In 1991, there were no sponsors. There was no corporate infrastructure, no official anything, just 3,000 people who decided to show up. A huge thank you to the members that you see on screen right now. Your support makes this all possible, and it helps me keep digging through archives and sharing the queer history that inspires us. If you'd like to join them, there's a link up above and in the description down below. And if membership isn't in your budget right now, no worries. Subscribing and hitting the bell helps more than you know. Most of all, thank you for being here. And now I'm going to get personal and share my own experience with Gay Days and why this pause hit me so hard. The first time I went to Gay Days, Disneyland, I didn't know what to expect. And living in California, I had heard about it for years. It was this legendary gathering where queer people would take over the happiest place on earth and everyone was in red. But the thing is, knowing about it and experiencing it are two completely different things. I can remember I was just so nervous, and as I walked through the gates wearing my red shirt, and it was just a plain red shirt, nothing special, but I knew what it meant. It meant that people would look and know that I was gay. And so there we were, we walked through, and it seemed like, any other crowded summer day at Disneyland. There were families everywhere, kids were running around screaming, just the regular chaos of Main Street, USA. But then I started seeing them. Red shirts, just a few at first, and then more and more. There was a gay couple holding hands by the Matterhorn, a group of lesbians just having a great time laughing together in line at Space Mountain. I remember seeing a trans woman beaming as she posed in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle, and then two dads with their kids all in matching red. And it hit me, we are everywhere. Not in the abstract, not as a slogan, but as living proof all around me. I could see my community. I could feel us taking up space, not asking for permission, not apologizing, just existing, joyfully, visibly, and together. That feeling, I don't know how to describe it, except that it felt like breathing for the first time, like I'd been holding something tight in my chest for my whole life, and I could let it go, that I belonged there, and we all did. So when I heard the 2026 announcement, and when I read those words carefully about pausing the event, I felt something that I wasn't expecting. I felt anger, and it wasn't sadness and not disappointment, but anger. Because visibility, it doesn't belong to corporations. It doesn't require sponsorship. Visibility is ours. It's something we claim by showing up, by existing out loud, by refusing to be invisible. The sponsors left, and that's fine. The hotels changed their terms, and that's fine. But the people, us, we are still here, and we never left. And that's when the question became so clear to me. Who owns our right to be visible? Is it Disney? Is it Bud Light or Target or whatever company decides rainbow capitalism wasn't worth the trouble anymore? Is it the politician who would rather that we just stayed quiet? No, our visibility belongs to us. 3,000 people figured that out in 1991. They didn't ask for permission. They didn't wait for a corporation to validate them. They picked a date, they picked a color, and they showed up. So here's what I'm going to do and what I invite you to do as well. The first Saturday of June, every June moving forward, I put it in my calendar, I'm going to wear red. If you want to go to Disneyland, you can. You can go to Orlando, Anaheim, Paris, wherever, or you can go somewhere else. Go to another theme park in your area, or just go to your local main street. Go anywhere you can be seen. Because Gay Days was never about the companies. It was never about the official events or the pool parties or the business expos. It was about 3,000 people deciding they deserve to exist in the most magical place on earth. And if they could do it in 1991, in the middle of the AIDS crisis, with no legal protections, no social media, no safety net, then we can do it now. So the first Saturday of June, that's June 6th this year, show up, wear red, be seen. And they can pause the official event, they can pull all the sponsorships, but they cannot pause us. Thanks for joining me on this celebratory trip down memory lane. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been to Gay Days? And what does queer visibility mean to you in 2026? Please drop your stories in the comments below. I love to read them and I try to respond to every single one. And if this made you feel something, check out the other videos popping up, one right over here, of other incredible moments from our community's history. And if you want to keep these conversations going, join our This Week in Queer History email list using the link up above or down in the description below. Until next time, stay strong, stay bold, and keep making history. Happy Pride Month!